of the list.
Yeah, let's just start. There's a coaching job open in his home state. Ray Lewis is applying for this job. Legendary Hall of Fame linebacker, Baltimore Ravens personality, consultant for the team, wants to become a head college coach. Knows everybody in football. He wants to do what Deion Sanders has just done at Colorado. Ray Lewis is applying for the Florida Atlantic head coaching job. I'll be fascinated to see if he becomes the next Deion, but it makes a lot of sense because he knows a lot of people, and maybe he comes in and fixes a mid-major program that has kind of stumbled and struggled. This is a really bad story. University of Hawaii. They've had a lot of trauma out there. Stadium was condemned. Aloha Stadium, historic stadium right next to Pearl Harbor, was condemned and closed. They had to move and play home games at a high school field. They have a lot of economic issues at the University of Hawaii. They had to pay travel subsidies for every team that would fly to come play a game in Honolulu. All of a sudden, the NIL showed up. They had to creative finance ways to keep their players. They're kind of a team without a conference. Now, they're going to the Mountain West Conference as a full-time member effective next season. But they fired their athletic director, and there's a huge uproar on the islands over this. His name was Craig Angelos. He was hired. He brought law and order to that athletic department. He brought in his own people, and they're the ones that have solved the Aloha Stadium construction issue. They're the ones that have raised a volume of money in the NIL. He's the one that specifically negotiated to the Mountain West take us as a full-time member. He's the one that negotiated out the subsidy fees they'd have to pay a San Diego State or Vermont or whomever was flying into Honolulu. He's done a hell of a job. He got fired. Got fired by the outgoing president 2 days ago without explanation, and the community's in shock. And the people that put together the NIL program say they will stop funding Hawaii athletics unless there's an explanation given as to why Angelos was removed from the job. So really ugly story in Hawaii. And Hawaii is such a beautiful place, and have had such a tough time athletically just because of their location, etc. That's a big thing. Big weekend college football. Indiana, ranked 5th in the country, will play Ohio State. Huge game in Columbus, Horseshoe. Curtis Rourke, transfer quarterback. Indiana got the Hoosiers 10-0, ranked 5th in the country. They have not beaten Ohio State in 36 years. Ohio State's obviously got unbelievable depth and talent. Indiana's doing this. I'm not going to say what smoke and mirrors because they are 10-0, but they're doing it with a bunch of transfers. But the Buckeyes have 3 of their starting 5 offensive linemen gone for the year with injuries. So that's a big issue. But they do have Will Howard, who doesn't make a lot of mistakes, transfer Kansas State quarterback for the Buckeyes. They do run the football. They do have gifted wide receivers. I guess we'll find out how good IU really is in Columbus. Indiana's gone 10-0, but they have not played a ranked team this season. And Ohio State is more than ranked. The other thing, once upon a time, this rivalry meant something. There's no electricity to this rivalry. This is stunning. I'm talking USC, UCLA this weekend. This used to be the finale of the season. This used to be for a lot of the marbles in what was the Pac-8, the Pac-10, then the Pac-12. It's like there's no excitement. Now, obviously, SC has got 5 losses. UCLA's got 6. Neither one has a home. There no longer is a Pac-12. They've gone to the Big Ten, and I don't know very many people. I don't know a hell of a lot of alums are real excited about this. But once upon a time, that was special. I mean, I broadcast when I did USC Trojan football. We played UCLA at the Coliseum in the 90,000. At the Rose Bowl was, 72,000. I mean, it was electric. And this is coming from somebody who covered Ohio State, Michigan, in Ann Arbor and Columbus, and I thought it was the greatest rivalry I'd ever seen. This, once upon a time, was an unbelievable rivalry. But right now, at this point in time, it sure does not seem to be that. So, John, that's what I got in my college football notebook. So is Ray Lewis going to be Neon Deion?
I love Deion Sanders and what he's doing. I mean, he's got a chance to get into the playoff, by the way, and maybe win the Big 12. And so it makes sense that guys like Ray Lewis are saying like, well, damn, I can do that, and I could transform maybe my home university or a university near where I live and turn them into a powerhouse. Good on you, Ray Lewis. And FAU, that's the team, the Owls, that played state in basketball, didn't they, in the Final Four? The Hawaii thing feels like a square peg round hole, doesn't it? I mean, it's just so hard to make that work in Hawaii.
It is. Geography's got a lot to do with it. Keeping the homeboys home has got a lot to do with it. You know, the last really successful head coach Hawaii football had was June Jones, and he went in there with a run and shoot and did very well. And they've got one of their legendary quarterbacks, Tommy Chang, is now their head coach, and they're just really struggling to build anything. And they struggle keeping players on the island rather than guys who are going to Washington or Nebraska, whatever. Massive, massive challenge. I mean, I tend to think if it's funded properly, Hawaii could really be a cool location point for kids that want to go enjoy lifestyle and play football. And now that they got a conference membership back with the Mountain West, but man, they got so many infrastructure problems.
Yeah, and I remember I saw the stadium when the Aztec played them, I think, like last year. And it is,
it's like an old high school stadium.
Was it high school or was it on the campus? But it was small potatoes, kind of a.
Well, it's an interim, and I broadcast from Aloha Stadium, and of course that was ancient. It was a beautiful facility right on the edge of Pearl Harbor. You go to the top of the press box, and you look out across the water, and that is Pearl Harbor. That's the Arizona Memorial. I mean, it's one of the most moving things I ever saw. And I did a San Diego State Hawaii game on the night of December 7th. It was the eeriest sensation I ever had because they had all the lights on the Arizona Memorial. But that being said, Hawaii's cool, but there's economics and there's geography. And I mean, I think it's a really tough administrative job right now. You got that. So what do you think about Indiana, Ohio State? Is this for real?
I love it. I mean, I just love IU having a moment here. And Ohio State fans are so damn cocky, you know?
Oh, you think?
Because they've won so much. And so to have IU go into Columbus and knock them off would be fantastic theater. So I'm really hoping the Hoosiers can win.
Go dog. Trojans, Bruins, once upon a time to where it is now. That's hard to believe.
It's really strange. Yeah, it is strange. But you know, both these programs are not like dominating the world. So I think maybe LA fans, they're spoiled by all their victories with the Dodgers and everything else that they're not paying attention.
College football fans forum chat box is open. You got an opinion, feel free to express it.